Hey everybody, Zach again at newtutorial.com. Want to come in and do a quick video. You know, I was watching the news the other day, and before I get started, if you have little ones in the room, I'm going to be talking about a sensitive subject, so you might want to just pause this video. I know some of you have been emailed before that people who watch my videos sometimes have their children in the room, and so we are going to be talking about a sensitive topic real quick today. So if you want to, pause the video, come back, and I know as a parent I appreciate when people give me that heads up, so I'm doing the same thing for you. I was watching the news, and I'm seeing this whole White House social committee who are dealing with the whole French president thing. If you've watched that, if you don't know anything about it, the French president has been caught in an affair. To give you a little bit of background, the French president had a 25-year-long relationship with a woman, whom they had 4 kids with. Were never married, but they had 4 children, and they were together for about 25 years. And after he was elected to president, he broke off that long-term relationship and got involved with another woman. And now that woman has found out 2 years later that she's now being cheated on. And it's just, she's in the hospital now because she can't deal with the stress, and it's gotten in the news, and the news media is blowing up about it. And the reason it's getting in the news over in this country is because our president is getting ready to welcome the French president, President Holland, over here to a state dinner. And they don't know how they're going to address the woman he's going to bring. Is he going to bring the one that he had for the last 2 years? Is he going to bring the new one? And how do they address her? Do they address her as first lady? Because he's never been married. They don't even believe in marriage, I guess. But they've never been married. And so how do they deal with this? And so it's kind of made the news. And you know, I have seen something in here that's the reason I'm doing the video. Is I see the increased moral decay of the world we live in. And let me just go ahead and put it out there. There was an article, it's called on The Hill, it's a political website called The Hill. And a Representative, Gerald Connolly, a Democrat from the state of Virginia, had commented on this whole topic. And he said that Connolly said America's deep puritanical tradition would have made it impossible for a world leader to bring someone other than their former spouse just 2 decades ago. Well, that doesn't make sense because the guy was never married to the other lady anyway. It was just a girlfriend. If you'd asked me this question he continues, if you'd asked me this question not so long ago, my answer would have been definitive, unacceptable, no way, no president could receive him under those circumstances, Connolly said. He would not be welcome and the U.S. president would get in trouble. That's not true anymore, he said. So, 2 decades ago, he says. 2 decades ago, this would not have been acceptable. What happened 2 decades ago? Well, this guy happened 2 decades ago. You know, it's no secret that presidents have long had affairs on their wives. I mean, someone who's like me, who's worked in politics and has seen this, I've seen a lot of politicians get in trouble when they get elevated to positions of power. They let, the power go to their heads and they can do anything, and that's not true. I've seen a lot of people get in trouble for that. But obviously, it's been known in the past that many presidents, many people in positions of power have cheated on their wives. The only difference is between this guy is that he brought it out in the open. And the liberal media, the media in general, and just people in general said, you're not allowed to ask questions. It's private. It's a private matter. You can't ask questions. And if you do, you're shameful and you're being legalistic. And it's just, you shouldn't do that. And that's their own affair. They can do whatever they want in their private lives. And so that's kind of where we've gone back 2 decades ago up till now. And now you have even the presidents who are open about switching girlfriends or switching wives on a whim. Sarkozy, I mean, it's the French, right? I mean, that's I mean, I've been to France. I was there when I lived in Europe when I was in the military. And it's France, right? It's the French. You expect them to do this, but now they're doing it openly, and the White House Social Committee doesn't know how to address this when the woman comes. Do we address her as girlfriend or, life partner or first lady? They don't know how to address this. And so they're kind of in a tizzy. And that's why it's been in the news lately, if you haven't been paying attention. And so anyway, I just thought that was interesting. And so I wanted to bring it up. And Zach, what's the point? Why are you bringing this up? Do you really need to do a video on this? Well, yeah, I think I kind of do. And it's just, again, it shows the lawlessness that we are living in, the moral decay of this country, the moral decay of the Western world, or the world in general. The Western world has its own set of sins that we indulge in, and the Eastern world has its own set of sins. I mean, this is adultery and fornication is rampant, And it's getting to the point now where it's not being held in the closet anymore. You can do this openly. And if you ask questions, you're legalistic and you're a snoop and you're holier than thou, and you shouldn't be asking questions at all. And that's where we're going. We're going into open lawlessness. That's where our world is headed. It was not like this 2 decades ago. It was not like this back when past presidents were caught in affairs, when everybody knew they were doing it. People in the know knew they were doing it, but it was just kept in the dark. It was kept hush-hush, you know. And so now, today, it's like, who cares? It's okay. It's fine. It's their private life. Let them deal with their own private lives. We shouldn't ask questions. Let me ask you this. If our leaders can behave this way, leaders of nations, how will the nations they lead then behave? We'll leave it at that. Go home, read your Bible. Thanks.